Testing. Can you all hear me? You should, yeah. Anyway, let me know if you can hear me. How you guys doing? Good? Oh, my messy room. Okay. Alright, Bruce. Take care. Oh, hi, Paulo. Ciao. Come stai? Hi, Kevin, Claus. How, Callie? Kelly Bar? Nice. Nice name. Hi, Mark. And hi, Jack. How are you? How you guys doing? Good? All well? I hope all well with you all. I know it's still pretty cold in certain places. Yeah. It's starting to get a little bit hotter. Right now it's like in the end, this is like the end of February, 27th of February. And today I felt the first serious intense sunlight through the kitchen window today. You know, for since the longest time, since October, if I'm not mistaken, or November, it's always been raining. The weather was really moody. It went as cold as 23 degrees at one time in the early morning in sunny Singapore. In sunny Singapore. So it's quite alarming yet interesting. Today we actually hit the normal temperature that we usually have in Singapore, 32, 33 in the daytime. But surprisingly enough, it's raining now. So I don't know. Weather forecast for Singapore is there's going to be lot more rain, lots more rain, and well, we will see. From Sweden. Ah, nice. No wonder your name is so interesting. Ooh, Epiphone Special. Wow, you got an AC30. Good for you, Jack. That's a really nice amp. Is it cold in Sweden? Hi, Jelani. How are you? Today I'm going to sneak peek a couple of stuff to you guys. Things that you guys haven't seen yet. There's two products actually. I just one because I just finished teaching, so one of my students walked away with the other version. So this is a brand new product just released, so I'm going to show it to y'all later on. Apart from that, you guys got lots of snow. Oh, oh, nice. My favorite kind. My favorite kind of weather. I like cold weather. In case you're wondering, I can't stand the heat. My rationale is that if it's cold, I can put on layers. I can put on layers to warm myself. But when it gets really hot, like it is sometimes here and humid, hot and humid, that's the worst. What can you do? Tear off your skin? You cannot do that. So I prefer the cold. Seriously, I'll find ways to keep myself warm. Although I think being cold is statistically it's more life-threatening than being hot. Although you don't want to end up in a desert because you probably burn. Yeah, you'll probably burn to death. From the scorching heat of the sun in the desert, but Singapore is no desert, so we're still okay. Yeah, so statistically, you probably perish easier in the cold. Anyway, good to know that you're good, Jelani. 33. Ooh, nice. That's a nice weather too, Mark. Yeah. Hi, Herman Potterhead. All right, so I made a few discoveries, which is a bit stupid in a way, but nevertheless, a discovery. So what I learned, I'll pass on to you guys, if you guys are interested. Let me see. So I've been playing with this guitar for a while now. Use it for a gig, for 5 days, for 5 days rehearsal and a gig, and love the tone of this guitar. This of course is the James Tyler, right? Japan Studio Elite, and I use the tremolo arm extensively. I just wang the heck of it. I found out that there was like rattling, and the bar isn't as firm as it should be. So, well, this is modeled after the 510, if not mistaken, even though it has the Tyler markings on the individual saddles. So I believe these are the 510s because they do come in with, this what you call that, screw-in tremolo system where you can just screw out, and take this all out, if you want to. All right. So it'd be a 10, right? So there's a screw-in mechanism to it. But apart from the screw-in mechanism, there is a grub screw, a small little grub screw to the side here. And I found out on close inspection that, hey, I don't see the grub screw at all because it's either recessed in, meaning it's really short, or it's missing. So I didn't know what to make of it because it was so pitch dark inside. I tried to shine a light and couldn't see nothing. So what I did was just to, take a chance and just screw it in as much as I can to the position that I want it. All right, which is not too in, roughly around here, around here, not too tight. So this is the place where I want it to be, and it was okay, but it was rattling as I play with my tremolo arm. Right now it's okay because I finally got a grub screw from one of my old tremolo system, and thank God it fit, So install the screw in, tighten it, so there is a plastic bushing around the tremolo arm, so it kind of tightens everything up together. So now no more rattling, everything is cool. It's supposed to be like that, right? So it's nice now. I'm at peace. Yeah, I was like really bothered by the rattling and going like, what in the world is that? Because that used to happen on my old Stratocaster, my old Fender Japan Stratocaster, which came in with the original 6-screw tremolo system, which I love because it's so traditional, right? But after a while, you find yourself like there's a loose thing, and finally found out that you need a spring, a small little spring, for it to have that tension, so you would not rattle. I know it's a pain, and I bought a couple of springs. I know where I put them. From AliExpress. So in any case, I swap out that old traditional bridge to the bigger trem, no problem at all. So now I got this. Now my problem is, how do I keep the grub screw in? Because apparently it got lost in the first place. Somehow that thing came loose, and a wonderful experience to share because I called up Wayne yesterday, and he too have his grub screw missing from his Goto 510 on his own guitar. And Wayne, being a luthier, has gone back to playing at night. These days, he wants to be a musician, so he has gone back to playing the clubs. And he tells me that he leaves his guitar on stage, which is very brave of him. He leaves his guitar on stage after his set, and there's this DJ, going with the disco music and everything, and it was all that super loud, how it is. And he told me that one day he was playing and he found out that he was rattling like me, like like everything is so. And he found out his grub screw was missing. So apparently, the vibration on stage has caused his grub screws to come undone. And that's not just the grub screw. There are a couple of screws, like the back plate screws, have managed to dislodge itself, not totally, but he has found out that they have gone loose. That's the amount of vibration that we're talking about. I have no vibration in this room unless it's an earthquake, which I don't have. So I did not lose that grub screw. Someone else did before I took control of this guitar, before I took ownership of this guitar. And the grub screw was missing. So I didn't know. As I said, I couldn't tell. So now I got my grub screw in it. I want to find a way for me to have it there so that it would not run. And the only way I can think about it is the Loctite. In case you guys do not know what is a Loctite, I know some of you have, because I introduced this a couple of live streams beforehand. Focus, focus, come on, focus. All right, so this is a Loctite. In this case, it's called, yeah, whatever, right? So it's oh, Bob! I couldn't fake it if I want to. Okay, so this is like a sort of a liquid, sort of a gel kind of liquid base. And what you do is you dab a little bit on the grub screw, and then you're supposed to lock it there so it doesn't dislodge itself. First, let's try to take off that grub screw. Now, bear with me. You know, I can't see really well with these spectacles because they are for long-sighted, or seeing far. Anything near, I have to take it off. All right. I gotta be real careful because I don't want to lose this. So, in case you're wondering what is this grub screw that he's talking about, it's that small. Okay, it's that small. Can you see that? That's how small the grub screw is. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to apply a little bit of this Loctite around the thread, which I can't see. Okay, just a bit, just a dab. All around. Okay, I'm actually swimming with it. Don't matter, I can always wipe off the excess later on. So now I'm going to apply it into the side. And before I tighten it even further, wipe off the excess. All right. And tighten it further down. Now be careful when you're tightening this because the side of your Allen key might scratch your finish of your guitar. So it's best to depress the tremolo arm as you do this. And then it comes to the, okay, I think this is tight enough. Yeah, done. So now I am doubly sure that this thing will not come loose because of the Loctite. Wipe off the excess as much as you can because you don't want this all over the tremolo system. Voila, and then so now I have my grub screw tightened in. My bar doesn't rattle anymore, and I'm pretty sure that this will not come out anytime soon. Just to make sure, I'm gonna tighten this a little bit more. Yeah, it's already very tight. That's fine. I'll just leave it as that. Okay, here you go. Oh yes, it's non-permanent because all you need is a little bit of a pressure and it will just break and you're able to unscrew it. I use this a lot on my bicycle, you know, on my bicycle when I'm when I have to do like tightening of bolts, and you make sure that the bolts doesn't come undone because it could be life threatening in case of in the case of a bicycle. So I apply this Loctite, and there are like various degrees of tight, of how tight you want it to be locked, meaning you may have to apply a little bit more pressure for it to break. Yeah, so there are like many degrees of it, and it's easily available, commercially. Okay, if you're so far liking this stream, press that like button. Yeah, there are 19 of you guys here. Press the like button. Hi, David K. How are you? Hi, admits. Yeah. Hi, John. Have you heard of Gustavo Cerati from Argentina? One of the best guitar. No, I'm not. I have not. Sorry, I'm not very familiar with Argentine music. Although I know they're favorite. They're fabulous. I heard some Latin American music, and some of them comes from Argentina. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Logify. How are you? Dennis Treadlocker is your friend. Oh yeah, it is. John, can't leave this guitar. It seems like, no. I was contemplating on buying another one. Just so that you know. But my pocket tells me otherwise. My wallet tells me otherwise. So. Kevin Young had a friend tell me that a tiny amount of fingernail polish will work if you don't. Yes, that will work too. Yep. Your friend's a wise friend. David K had the first gig of 2023 last night. Went really well. Always good. Always good. You get first one of the way. Always good to have the first one, yeah. The first gig of the year. Nice. There'll be plenty more. Okay, since you guys are here, I'm not going to keep you guys waiting. Okay, there are 27 of you. Press the like button, please, before I continue. All right. Press the like button. I dare you. Okay, so this is a new product from Zoom. Right, the stock just came in from City Music. I just got this and another one. It's actually basically the same. This is the G24. They have a G24X with the expression pedal. What happened was I received this yesterday. I didn't break it open. I thought, I'll just probably do a review sometime next week. I had lessons today because I teach on Sundays, and one of my students was looking for a multi-effects, so yeah, pass it to him, show it to him. He was interested, so he took it home with him. So I'm getting the other version of this on Tuesday, so I would probably do a review of this after Tuesday. Now, impressive stuff. He just texted me. He told me that it worked with his computer system. There's a USB out into his computer system. He can record this through whatever software he's using, Cubase or whatever, so it records perfectly. He was looking for something that he can record in his home through a mixer or directly through his computer, and at the same time he wants to use it in church where it's not too much of a hassle. So basically this is like the rest of the stuff that has been released by Whole Tone, by Joyo, where you have this little small multi effects like a storm, a hitcher storm. But I like the way Zoom does certain things, so hoping this is as good as some of their earlier products. Again, press the like button. Press the like button if you please. Right? If you like this stream so far, press the like button. And yeah, so this is called the G24, as well as the G24X with the expression pedal. All right. Effects and amp emulator. Right, bunch of instruction manual, Right, so this is without the expression pedal, so it's pretty small, almost the size, the length of my hand. All right, this is how it looks like. Okay, now try plugging this into my hotspot 9V because it runs on 9V. Doesn't work, so I guess you have to use their power supply. Yeah, so it's also 9V, but it's at what's this? This is at well, basically just 9V, 240 AC, 100.5 amperes. But I do not understand why I could not use my normal hotspot power supply. Apparently because of the head. I don't know, it could be the head, it could be anything. And the best part of it, the best part of it is that you can, how do I apply this? Oh, I actually have it plugged in somewhere else. Anyway, the best part is that you have 1, 2, 3 foot switches here for you to change between presets. And then you see this up and down arrow. Right, so this is scroll up, scroll down. So this is for you to scroll up your banks, bank 1, bank 2, bank 3, whatever. And then the cursor buttons are here. So basically you want to hit down to the global setting or the amp, the preset setting. You just press this middle button and you will go into whatever you have, and you use your cursor to go through, to cycle through the various effects as well as the amp setting. And right here you can have direct access to the EQ of the amp section that you're doing. So pretty straightforward. No frills, nothing. It's just a very visceral tool for musicians, especially for some old timers like me. I sometimes I'm okay. I can handle complicated stuff. But sometimes it gets a little bit mind-boggling because, like, I got lost when I was navigating through the Fractal as well as the Kemper. Kemper wasn't that bad. The Helix was mind-boggling enough, but I've been using the Helix for decades, so after a while I just got used to it. So I don't like to go into too complicated a thing when it comes to multi effects. The simpler it gets, the better it is. So this is right up there. It's quite simple and it's very visual. You see these effects popping on the display, and you can kind of like adjust when you want to do. Yeah, pretty easy. And the expression pedal, I saw it, and it's nice. It's not as hardy as what I hope it would be, but it will suffice. You can do volume swells with this. You can change it to a wah-wah pedal at the touch. I believe there's a toe cap switch. You can change it to a wah-wah pedal. Now this is almost like what is this? This is a Trident, right? Almost. Trident is a little bit more detailed in a way, and you have a lot more other foot switches to play with. Basically 10 foot switches to play with, and then you have the various individual settings, the dip switches, and all sorts of stuff, all good stuff, and it's all very hands-on. You don't need a software to edit or anything like that. The only time that you probably need a software is when you're loading your own IRs, impulse responses. Other than that, it's just hands-on. Everything is. Of course, you need a expression pedal if you need an expression pedal, right? And then you just hook it up and you're done. Same thing for this G24. Same thing. If you need an expression pedal, just get an expression pedal or get the G24X. With the built-in expression pedal, and you're set. And it's pretty light. This is lighter than this anytime. Okay, this is really light. Even with the foot switch. I mean, even with the expression pedal, it's relatively light. Any question? Dennis Lim, do you keep your acoustic guitars with a humidifier? No. It's already quite humid in Singapore, so you do not need a humidifier. A lot of guitars back in the days when I had my Taylor, I have a Taylor 510 Yeah, and I used to have the hump, the dreaded hump near the saddle, near the bridge. And that was because it was so humid in Singapore. But then as I and that's because I travel a lot at that time because I was doing a lot of gigs and production overseas, and I'm seldom home. So this place is like not air conditioned every day because I wasn't at home. But as I started to do more production work at home, and then my YouTube channel started, I found that the hump has decreased, has gone down because it's relatively dry in this room, and through the years it kind of cures itself in a way. So I do not need a humidifier. Yeah, I need a humidifier for my skin actually because it's so dry, and sometimes, I yeah, it's like sort of irritant. It gets dry. And when it gets dry, you know how it is when you travel overseas to a dry, cold place and you come back, your leg starts to itch and all that. Yeah, dry skin. So I get that here. So meaning this room is pretty dry. I have a humidifier where I'll dab some what is this? What do you call that? Where you dab some essential oils and yeah, you would just like humidify the room for a while. That's about it. Charles Michael Albert. Oh, nice name. What locking tuner brand that you would suggest for a Gretsch Streamline? Whoa, I have no idea, man, because it's either you get the ones that are stock from Gretsch itself, or you can get a third party, but you want to make sure that the third party locking tuners actually do fit the headstock of the Gretsch guitar. Now, Gretsch guitars are like a different breed, so sometimes certain things that doesn't work. Yeah, so you got to find out from the store, or maybe from your dudes there. Kevin Young, I have the G14 model. I like it a lot. I imagine the G2 will take it to the next level. Yeah, probably so. Yeah. Calibad, it was review of the PRS Ariza Verde that brought me to your channel. I like your playing, so I subscribed. Did it feel like a high-end guitar? I thought of buying it. Oh yes. I like the Ariza Verde. I thought it was a pretty cool guitar. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Is the Zoom comparable to the Nuex MG300? MG300. Almost. The MG300 has a lot more going for them in terms of the software editor because there's a whole lot of stuff you can do. This is pretty basic in a way. I'm not touched on the editor that this might come in with. They're probably coming with an editor for your computer, but I'm trying to review these products as basic as I can because I do not want to go into a place where I would allow some time during the review to show whether there is things to be done in the editing software, like what I did for the Nuex products, and I will do it likewise the same thing. But my emphasis will be on hands-on experience. How much can you get done without an editor software? And I think I can get a lot done with this because I have very good experience with the G5, and yeah, I managed to get really nice sound from them. So the Zoom products are pretty good in many ways. I was disappointed in the later one, the big ones. I was actually quite disappointed with that. But the smaller ones like this, yeah, they're good. They're good for the price that it's going for, and it's relatively cheap. Relatively affordable. Okay, not to use the word cheap. Have you tried the Velaton GP200 effects unit? I've been hearing. I actually had a piece here for the longest time. I think I got it from Miss Jeanette. But in the end, I decided not to review it. Part of the reason was because I was reviewing a whole lot of stuff from these Chinese companies that all have the same kind of things, I think the only difference is probably the ones from Nuex and the one from Hotone. They are a little bit different, but it's still like a template that they come up with. So if I come out with product A, another company will come out with product A1, and then another company come out with A3, but they're basically based on the A format. You get what I'm talking about, right? So there's no new development of stuff like what they did with the Trident. The Trident is really something new. So that's why I still like Nuex a lot. And I believe that R&D has done a lot of work. So the Cerebus is another one, right? And yeah, basically that's the reason why. Hi, Michael Stone. How are you? Uh, Luke S. Did you take lessons or teach yourself how to play? Um, I did not take any lessons. I did try to take one lesson from an old guitarist, old jazz guitarist, which I respect a lot. Um, I think I took about 2 lessons from him, but I didn't get to play with him or nothing like that. I just watched him play. So basically, I pay him like $50 or $60 just to watch him play for an hour. And he loves to play, and he would play, and I would just like gawking at him and going like, whoa. But I found out after the second lesson I wasn't learning anything, so I stopped. That's the only lesson where I pay, right? My first lesson was free because I was in school, and I was from a Catholic school, right? And we have this father. I think he's not yet a father. He's a brother. So he's one of the teachers, but he's a priest nevertheless, and he teaches music. So he held guitar classes for those who are interested. So I enrolled myself into it. I borrowed myself a nice Congress guitar, and well, he was teaching classical music, so he provided the leg stand for you to lift up, so you can I forgot. So you can play all your classical stuff. After the first lesson, I went out to this brother. I remember his name was Brother Francis or something. So I said, Brother Francis, can you teach me how to play the song Angie? I said, Angie? Yeah, Angie from Rolling Stone, Angie, na 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 na, Angie. He sings it that way, Mick Jagger. So it's NJ or NG. So he goes like, Rolling Stones. He said, that's the devil's music, boy. You're going to hell for that. Okay, thank you. And that was the last time I went to any guitar lessons from this brother in the school. And that was it, So the rest of the stuff, I picked up myself through hard work, basically. Yeah, and listening and listening and listening, and basically wearing out the stylus needle on my record player. Yeah, basically just that. And as I started playing professionally, I started to talk to fellow musicians who they themselves are. Some of them are learned, some of them are not like me, but who does fabulous and wondrous things, and we would share and trade ideas and on how to do finger tapping, and how to do the stuff that I do with my whammy bar, or how to do specific runs. And I have a friend who specializes in funk playing, so I picked up a lot from him and how he does all his funk playing. And we play side by side sometimes with black bands from all over the states. We had a band that came in from Chicago, great band, and they're all African Americans, right? So they're all, it's a black band, great singer with horn section. The guitar player is this tall guy. He's about 7 feet tall, but man, he moves on stage. All of them dances really well on stage, and his funk playing was out of the world. So yeah, sometimes we would just get him over for a beer or coffee before we start our work, and we would just talk and we just change ideas. So it's pretty interesting. We had a band that came in from Hawaii, and the band was phenomenal, great band, and they were playing a lot of top 40 stuff, and they had a white guitarist, but a Hawaiian bassist. I remember his name is Mark. Yeah, great guys, great bunch of guys. And this white guitar player, scrawny little guy with hair almost like Guthrie Govan, plays phenomenal guitar, right? And one day I came early to the club because I wanted to run through a few things with my effects. And I was coming down, I was smoking, I was walking down the stairs, and below me was the stage, and I saw this white guy, the guitar player, taking down the setting of my amp. And I have a stupid cheap Ibanez amp. It's probably transistor. It's not even a tube amp. but it was made in Japan, back then. And I can only afford that, And he was taking down the settings of my amp, like, where my mid section is, where my mid controls are. And I went over and I shouted from above, I said, "Yo, what are you doing?" He said, "Oh man, you sound great. You sound awesome last night. I'm just going to take down your EQ setting." And I'm going, "You gotta be kidding me. You are a heck of a guitar player. 1,000 more times better than me. And there you are copying down the settings of my amp." That blew my mind because this guy just wanted to learn. He just wanted to pick up stuff, and that's how it became so good. Much later on, I had coffee with him, we spoke a little bit. He was telling me that he couldn't find work in LA where he was based in. He went to GIT, he graduated from GIT, and he doesn't have any job, no gigs, nothing. So he has to work in a record shop sweeping floors. And how he got the gig was someone approached him that there's a band for how are you going to Singapore, we like to audition for it. He auditioned and he got a job. And I was like flabbergasted because to understand the amount of talent that is in the States, I know that for a fact. There are a whole lot of talents in the States as well as in China, right? Big countries, in Russia too, big country, many people, many talents. And Singapore is so small, So sometimes when I see like real arrogant musicians, I'm going like, why are you arrogant for? Whether they are from here or from overseas. There are, what Chinese has a saying, 一山比一山高. One mountain will be higher than the other mountain. You get what I mean? You see a mountain, you go like, whoa, there's another mountain that's higher. So, this dude, I forgot his name, he taught me humility. He taught me that it's never too late to learn. Just learn. Pick up details. If you can't remember, write it down. And that's how I learned, basically. Anyway, sorry, just yabbing away. Kevin Claus, what do you think the best way to improve phrasing when soloing? Listen. Yeah. Hi, Rick. How are you? Oh, -20. Nice. Right now it's like what? I don't know. Now it's raining now, so it's about 25 degrees centigrade, which is pretty chill. Yeah. Coming back to you, Kevin. I think the best way to improve phrasing is to find out. Well, above all, it's listening to a whole lot of stuff, not just to guitar players, but to vocalists. I love to listen to vocalists. One of my favorite vocalists is Al Jarreau, because that guy, he's like Guthrie Govan on vocals. Crazy, I like to listen to saxophone players. I also like to listen to trumpet players. What I'm trying to get at, I like to listen to erhu players. Erhu. Yeah. What I'm trying to get is I like to listen to soloist instruments, so that when they are soloing and when it is a great solo, whether it's done on a pipe, a reed pipe or a trombone or whatever, it's a great solo. And what makes a great solo is the phrasing. It's the way he utilizes dynamics, choice of notes, timing, syncopation, all this stuff. So all these things you have to listen and learn to appreciate them as much as you can, and try to digest as much as you can. Back in the days when I was in the studio, I would sometimes pick up a guitar. If I were to do a sort of a solo for a song, the producer will say, "Okay, John, can you do a solo?" And they'll play the song, and most of the time I would not just go and just do. and just play um, whatever that I need to play, because chances are I'm not going to get too far, because you'll be going in blind. Now, even though you have all the chords and everything, you what I want to do is, like, if there's just a chord progression going, right? If there's a chord progression going like that, I will hum. I will go do 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 do. Right, I got a melody straight like that, you know. Or I can do another variation. I go do 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 do. So I got the first phrase of it, and I can have many takes of this, and that I will credit to God, because He gave me that talent. This is not something that I worked on or something that I practice on. This is something that I have inbuilt in me. I have this ability to make melodies. Whether it's a good melodies or not remains to be seen as you progress. But sometimes this is a little bit too much for me. So if it's a guitar solo, I would probably do it like less. Do 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 do. Sounds nice, right? So I got the first run. So I enhance it properly. So I can don't do this. I can do. It's cleaner, of course, with all the effects that you have. And I have the first run, and then you work from there on how to go about doing the rest of the solo, be it an 8-bar solo, 16-bar solo, or God forbid a 32-bar solo. You have to continue and keep that pacing, you know, and put in some interesting things, like, you know, you cannot have every note coming in at 4 or 8. You got to like stagger it in between. So that's where phrasing is what about, you know. So yeah, basically it's about that. Hi, Orion. Long time. How have you been, dear boy? Okay, Mark. Well, you know what, Play Tilt? Even though I say it's God-given, the reason why I have all this abundance of melodies is because I listen to a whole lot of songs. I've been listening to music since the age of 4. I don't play any instruments until much later on, but I've been like listening to music at the age of 4, since the age of 4, maybe earlier, I don't know. But music has always been part of my household, part of my life. I've been listening to all sorts of stuff, you know, and it's always good to have all these melodies come into your life, you know. You know how it is when some of you smokers, and you smoke the whole day, and then you come home and your wife go away from me, you stink, and you don't smell it because you're a smoker. Like I was a smoker, I don't smell, I don't even have a whiff of what she's talking about, you know. It's only when I quit smoking that I go, oh man, that stink. You know what I mean? So it's like listening to music, you know. It's like smoking. You're like immersing yourself in music, and it permeates around you, in you, inside out, outside in. And sometimes at night when I go to sleep, this melody will keep haunting me. Have you have one of those? And that's a proof that, you know, you're allowing music to influence you, you know. And we're talking about some pretty, not really spiritual stuff. This is just you listening to positive things. Likewise, if you listen to people talking bad about people, gossip, and you get immersed in that, and you get angry, and then you get all affected. The same thing. So I love listening to music because music puts me in a really good place where I'm at peace. My heartbeat goes way down, especially when I listen to Olivia Newton-John. Oh, yeah, she puts my heart at rest, and that's why I miss her so much. When I was devastated when I heard of her passing. So these are the sort of music that, and I love orchestral music, like songs with strings and stuff like that. That would just calm me right down. And when it comes to playing, I have to come to a point where I can kind of channel what I've learned or listened to onto my fingers so that I can interpret a piece of music, and then you, in turn, the listener, will get the same feeling that I got when I listened to a great piece of music. You understand what I'm talking about? I think it's pretty clear. So I'm actually reaping what I'm sowing in a way. I'm actually churning out music so that people can enjoy because I've enjoyed other people's music. Like when I first listened to a solo by Steve Lukather back in the earlier days before all the hits, it made such an impact on me that hey, I want to play like that. So I made it a lifelong, promise to myself that I want to play like Michael Landau. I want to have that same tone that Michael Landau has. I want to play like Steve Lukather if I can. If I can play 10% of what he plays, then I'm really happy. Stuff like that. But as I go along that journey, I begin to discover myself, and that's where it is. You discover yourself. You discover what sort of genre you're good at, and what sort of style that you are developing as you go along. Yeah. I hope that helps. Are you able to recommend, Mark? Are you able to recommend a pedal with a volume boost for soloing that will work well with my acoustic? Oh yes, I do. That sounds like an old ABBA song. I do. Let me get it out for you. Where is it? I think I had a spare here, but well, don't have it here. But don't worry, let's just throw it here. So just for you, Mark, because you're playing acoustic guitar, right? So get this if you can. This is from Nuex. Okay. So well, basically you can use this as a preamp, as a DI out for your for your acoustic guitar, but there's no compressor in this, so you probably can't do it. But I'm waiting for the second iteration of this because I wanted to have, in fact I think this has one, if I'm not mistaken. No, yeah, I wanted to develop a switch where I can just depress it and it will give me like a 6 dB or 8 dB or 10 dB boost so that I can actually do solo with it, which I think I can do it with this, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it this or the other one that I had? Oh, it's the other one. So the other one that you can probably think about is from Arabex. It's called the Venue. Yeah, it's called the Venue, which is pretty pricey. But what you're getting is a set of EQ, and it's basically a direct box. You also have tuners built in and a mute switch as well as a solo foot switch, so you can kind of boost up whatever you want. I like this. I use this because I control my volume through my Arabex on my guitar itself. So when I'm playing like rhythm, normal rhythm, I'll put it like like 50 or 60%, and I can kind of feel where it is, the volume. So when I'm doing a solo, I just bring up that volume up and I just play. Why? Because when I play acoustic guitar, sometimes on stage I would have to go out in front during the unplugged segment or whatever it is. So I'll go out, and when I go out, I cannot just go back and step on my booster switch. I can't do that, so I'll just do it on the fly on my guitar. And I love this because of the preamp. This has really good sound for a very inexpensive piece of gear. And I had them send over one more extra for me just in case I spoil this, and I got Numex to set up a special firmware for me, because this comes in with the looper and everything, which I don't need on stage. So I had a firmware which they designed specifically for me for me to cancel out my looper, in short, and a mute switch, so I can mute this and I can tune in peace. I've asked them to do a version of this where you have a built-in tuner and a compressor. That would be so good. A compressor and a tuner, and you can have the chorus and the reverb and the EQ and the mute switch as well as a solo switch. Yeah, that would be perfect. So yeah, they are looking at my request, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, I hope it helps. The other way, of course, is to get the Arabex venue. All right. Caliber, I'm a Gibson style player having a bit of a struggle with Fender scale. Is a PRS more? Yes, PRS is more like a more like a Gibson, because a Gibson has a 25-inch scale length. The Fender, Strat, Tele all have a 25.5 scale length. Yeah, so it's a half-inch longer than what you'll find in a Gibson. Playing wise, yes, you feel less fatigue. You can still play the same 010s, but you'll find easier to bend strings on a Les Paul. For me, I grown up with this. I started with a 25.5, and I still love it because of the tension. I like my guitar to fight back a bit and not just give in every time. That's how I like my women anyway. So my wife is a feisty one, so I like to some tension, why? So that when I bend, I have to take charge of it and not get too complacent about it. So playing on a 25-inch, 25.5, you need to really get a grasp on what string you are targeting, because if you don't have a good grasp on it at your tip or your fingertips or whatever, because of the tension, you probably slip, and not a pretty sound. So it takes a little bit more effort to play on a 25.5, but for me, I think it's worth it because of the tone. I love it because of the tone. The Les Pauls, the PRS, they are a breeze to play. If I have an easy gig and I just want to a nice warm sound, yeah, I'll go for the Les Paulish kind of guitars. Even the SG, it doesn't matter. If it's a rock gig and I just don't want to tire myself out, yeah, I'll get an SG, right? But if I want to do some raunchy stuff, yeah, the Tele will be the way to go, basically. But I'll probably bring my Paoletti because I have a trem bar there, and that is the absolute. Having a tremolo system on the Tele, yeah, that would be the best, right? Rick, do you have your Tokai 335 with you? Yes, it's hanging right up there. Yeah, this. Steve Cole, hi John. So you got your book of learned stuff. Perhaps another my book of learned stuff. Perhaps another series of video. What are you talking about, Steve? What book of learned stuff? Dennis Lim, just curious, do you have perfect pitch? No, but I have relative pitch. After so many years, I should have. You guys should have relative pitch if you're playing. If you've been playing for decades, you should have. Yeah, I don't have perfect pitch. Michael Stone, John, you're super good with all the different instruments you play. So clean, a true inspiration for us to hear and watch. God has blessed you very much and a great. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Yeah. God loves me. I know. He loves me so much. Tom Platts, hi Jonathan. I'd like to learn more about your recording setup. How are you getting your guitar tones, reverb, etc.? Do you have a video where you already shown your setup? Thanks. No, I do not have a video about that, but I can roughly tell you that I basically use, for most of the videos that you've seen in my reviews, I use the Line 6 Helix native software, in conjunction with my digital audio workstation. So basically it's a Helix. It works exactly like a Helix, only that you do not have the DSP limitation on the Helix. If you're working on a good Mac system or a PC for that matter, it all depends on how much memory you have or how powerful your computer is. So basically there's no limitations. But apart from that, the all the things that you hear, the delay, the chorus, whatever that you're hearing, the amp simulation, speaker simulation, these all come from the Helix native. Although I use specific IRs for my speaker sim, so impulse responses. So I bought I bought certain IRs from this company. I forgot what its name called. Yeah. Hold on, let me check. I should have the name. Anyway, I'll think of it and I'll let you guys know. But anyway, there are a whole bunch of IRs in the market, so you can actually shop with it, shop around and see which IR suits your taste. So basically, a lot of guitarists, they just don't want to do the hard work. That's the problem with society these days. Sometimes when I teach, thank God I got a bunch of great students this year, this time round. I stopped teaching in 2017-18 because I was touring a lot, and I was getting crappy students because they all wanted the short way out, a shortcut, and they tell me that, oh, I want to learn this song, I want to learn that song. I told them beforehand, I'm not teaching you songs because this is what you should do, and if you do have problem, you can ask me, but I'm not going to teach you the whole song. And they all want to be spoon-fed, those guys will come in. And these are relatively well-afforded guys who have great jobs, who will buy a piece of gear and sell it in 2 weeks' time because they don't understand how to use it. They don't have the patience to learn. That's the problem with this generation. A lot of them just want the easy way out. I'm not talking about some of you geek heads out there, because my kudos to you, because you guys do take the attention to detail and learn what you can. I'm talking to those who are just plain lazy and who just want everything to be handed to them. And you see these guys all the time buying presets from Helix guys who take advantage of this and create presets. Oh, David Gilmour preset, Richie Blackmore preset, and all that, and they sell it, and people buy it because they're too idle, they're too lazy to do it themselves, to get themselves acquainted to the whole Helix system. And you know what? They don't sound like Richie Blackmore. They don't sound like David Gilmour because they are not Richie Blackmore and they are not David Gilmour. You get me what I'm trying to get at? You can have almost the same delay, almost the same reverb, probably use the same amp, but you will never sound like them because you're not them. And for you to understand the piece of gear that you just bought with your hard-earned cash, go dwell in it. Spend as much time as you can trying to figure out the various parameters. That's why I tell all my students, what's the use of a mid control? What's the use of a brilliant or a bright control? Right? How do you get your stereo sound in stereo? How do you get your guitar amps to sound stereo? How much feedback should I get from a delay? Once, twice? I can't tell you because you are the one who's playing, not me. Right? So I can tell you mine. I prefer it to be 1.5. But that might not work for you. It doesn't work for the Edge U2 because he has it a whole lot of repeats. Every guitarist is different. So yes, we all need a template to capitalize on, right? We need someone to copy. Go ahead and do that. There are a whole lot of presets in the Helix. There's a whole lot of presets in these units, and work from there. So you hear a sound that you don't like, and then you ask yourself, what don't you like in that sound? Is it too bright? Cut down the highs. You don't like the amp situation? Cut down the gain. And then work around it, and then, hey, voila, you have a workable sound. Now, you have a workable sound does not mean it's the end of the game. How to make this a happening sound? That's your job. You got to kind of fine tune it until you love what you hear. Because if you don't love what you hear, nobody will love what you hear, what you're playing. I always tell people that whether I'm teaching backup vocals, worship leaders, band practices, if you yourself do not like what you're hearing from yourself, whether you're playing an instrument or singing, nobody's going to like what you're playing or singing. No one. Maybe God. Because God is all forgiving. You know, He loves you for who you are. Right. So, who's from Chicago? Timothy, hi. From Chicago. Pretty cool. What's this JYK? We're the same name and write the same way. Oh, really? Do you sing much? I have my own made-up language when writing this. Interesting. Timothy, my daughter bought me a PRS SE594. Wow. 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 A nice girl. Great girl. And I love it. Do you think a HS Storm is a good purchase even though it's old? Thank you. I think it is a good purchase, all things considered. But if you're going to use it for like a live gig, you know, you might find that the 3-button is a little bit limiting. You might want to get the HS Storm extended. Or find some other variations of the Helix. That's the other one. I forgot. It's a more affordable with a lot more foot switches. That's not a Helix, you know. What is it called? Line 6. Give me a second. Let me Google it for you. A second. Yeah, you can get the Pod Go if you want to. 8 foot switches for you to play around with. A Pod Go with a expression pedal. And that's a great piece of gear, in my opinion. Alright. David K. I've seen a Revelation guitar made in China but UK company. Fender scale looks like Jazzmaster P90 style pickups but hidden under scratch plate. Neomium, I believe. Not expensive. Yeah, go for it, David. It's called the RJT60 Ghost. They look and sound amazing and have a baritone knot which can... Whoa, nice. Hi, Dennis. Holberg. Yeah. Orion, sorry I missed some streams. I had my alarm set but overslept. It's so inspiring to see your geek pics. Yeah, I miss you, Orion. Could we hear your Tokai? No, you may not. Later on. Wannabe Insta rock stars. Rexomatic. Greetings, Jonathan. Dropping in to say hello. Hope you are doing well. I've been spending time with a wonderful new Rain song. Wow. WS1000 carbon acoustic and taking lessons from John Robson in UK. Good for you. Yay. Anyway, John Robson is a great guitar player. Yeah, I saw a couple of his videos. I hope that's the same John Robson we're talking about. Tom Platts, thank you for answering my question, Jonathan. Let me just go back. Yeah, okay. You're welcome, Tom. Hello, Jonathan, and thanks for blessing to you to end this. Okay, thank you. Thank you, John. I don't play live, only home. Oh, no, okay. Then you can get a Storm if you want to. Yeah, or you want to save more money, you get one of these. These are relatively cheap. Yeah. Okay. I was just playing with my my Tokai earlier on. I taught a couple of students with that. Just tune this a little bit. I might just, I don't know whether I'm still thinking of whether should I just keep this guitar or sell it away. It's a great guitar, I just don't like the tuners. So I might just change instead of I don't know, a traditional looking set of locking tuners. Yes, this is not a 335. This is a Tokai. What did I say? 331 or what is three? No, it's a 110 ES 110. So it's almost like a 335 kind of a guitar. I actually bought this really inexpensively. Cost me about $1,000, $1,000. You know, it should go for more, but the tuners are the one that's problem. These are really bad tuners. Yeah, probably I'll just probably just take it to Wayne. Right, so this is the neck. This is play this for a long time. No? I think just in a bit of a tugging and stretching should be okay. On that note, let's show you another guitar. Leave the tuner behind. This was sent to me a couple of days ago. This is from you gotta love this. This is the Sir guitar. Really nice. Kelly, where can I find your music online? Did not find any on Spotify. No, I'm not on Spotify yet. Orion, when you were starting out, how did you divide your time between acoustic and electric when practicing? Ooh, that's a great guitar. Great question. Fact of the matter is that I don't play a lot of acoustic back then. I am predominantly on electric guitars, so don't even play acoustic when I'm playing live on the clubs. It's just electric guitar, you know. I only started playing acoustic guitar when I started doing recordings in the studio, and I will be called on dates where I'm supposed to record just electric guitars. So back in the days, we're talking about the late 80s to all the way to the mid, to now actually. We have like different guitarists for different stuff. Like, you have certain guys who does acoustic predominantly, certain guys who do electric like me and a fellow guitarist named Shar. And there's a guy called Martin Perla, fantastic guitar, the late Martin Perla. He does wonderful acoustic as well as electric. So these are the players that predominantly work within this studio circuit in Singapore back then. And guys would call me in for session, and I would play electric, but then they would say, hey, why don't you just, since you're here, might just do some acoustic. Do you have acoustic guitar? Because I'm going to be in town for a couple of days. And I don't want to call anyone else because I love working with you. Yeah. So that was the first time that I decided, maybe I should get myself an acoustic guitar. But I didn't want to intrude on other people's territory. So sometimes I would say, no, why don't you get this guy to do acoustic guitar for you? But in the end, I was asked too often, so I went up and got myself an Ovation guitar of all guitars. Why did I buy an Ovation guitar? Because Steve Lukather had an Ovation guitar, and I thought it would work, but I didn't like the sound. So I I used the Ovation guitar for about 2 3 years, and I sold it away. Or did I give it away? I forgot. And I got myself a Taylor 510, and subsequently, in fact, I was earning enough money, so I bought two Taylors at one time. I bought the 510 series, a 6-string and a 12-string, and that's where I started playing a whole lot of acoustic guitar. Sometimes I get called to play acoustic guitar dates. I don't know why, because I really suck at acoustic guitar, but I must be doing something right. And yeah, so that's how I got started playing acoustic guitar. Yeah. Thank you, Rick. Yes. Okay. John, how maybe work on nut slots? I heard a little pling sound might be cheaper to try first. Yeah, I know, John. It's probably the nut. I'm supposed to give this a makeover in a way where I clean out everything. I'll deep polish everything. Since I have the wax and everything, I'm gonna oil the fingerboard. Polish the frets a little bit, and then work on the nut so that there'll be like less friction and stuff like that. Clean up the two pneumatic bridges. Maybe I don't know, brasso. I don't know. Make it shinier. So I'm supposed to give it some TLC soon. I'm just taking my own sweet time because it'll take the whole afternoon. And there's another project on the way because I have the. I'll talk about that later on. But let's talk about this guitar. Right? This is a Sir. I don't know what Sir is this. This is like one of their custom model. Nice. It says here Lake Elsinore, California. The iconic Guthrie Govan kind of a setup, double, single, double. This is a 510. Yeah, with the grub screw still there. Yeah, so nice roasted maple fretboard, really nice quarter sawn. You can see it's quarter sawn. Nice. I don't know how it sounds like. Still no sound. Not bad. I like the neck pickup. Let's tune. I don't know where this is. It's a Michael Landau pickup. Nice. I like the way this neck feels. Let's take a look. So this also has that slight rollover side to make it feel like like a guitar that you've been having for a long time. Not as much of a rollover compared to the James Tyler. I find the James Tylers are really very apparent that you have this rollover side of the fretboard. I'm just gonna do a side-by-side comparison. Both of them have maple neck. One is a roasted maple. Yeah, they're about the same. I think it's more apparent on the James Tyler. Yeah, you can see that they work a little bit more on the rollover, just a touch more. You have the rollover effect on the Sir. Same thing. Nice. I like how this neck feels. And these guys, they have their designs correct. Their nut are cut properly. There's no need for string tree. Guitar stays perfectly in tune, like my James Tyler, perfectly in tune. And that's what this is probably what you pay for. If you get a company that does this, like cutting the nut properly, making sure everything is aligned, and knowing for the fact that if this is going to be with a lock-in tuners, then you're probably safe in this area because it's not going to go out of tune. The only thing that goes out of tune is because the strings are not properly aligned to the nut and it cuts through in a certain angle. That's where the problem comes in. Now, the Sir and the James Tyler, they have this all down to a science, in a way. So it's not a problem for them. Guitar stays perfectly in tune no matter how much I wang my bar. It just stays perfectly in tune, and that's what you pay for. But if you're not a tremolo arm, a tremolo player, then you can get a Gibson or a cheaper alternative of. You don't want to get all these guitars. These guitars are mainly for Strat lovers who love their bars, and who loves to play with, who is thinking of being a Michael Landau or a Steve Lukather or a Dan Huff, and these are the aspirations that I still have, and players like me, these are catered to players like me, but if players like us do not have the wallet for them, then It's either I save up money or, yeah, bite the bullet and buy one, which I did. It's a pre-love. It still cost me a pretty penny. So you don't have to get guitars like this. There are many guitars on the market, But like I said, it all boils down to here, right? So if this is not done properly, you're gonna get a guitar that's going out of tune all the time. And one of you might just mention about my Tokai, the ping. Yeah, that's where the nut. That's where the problem is. I've stated many times in my videos. So you get what you pay for, basically. Hey, hi Dennis, how are you? Good to see you. Hi John, figure out why my favorite guitar was so easy to play and struggle with others. Had 09s change out to them on my Fusion 2, made a big difference. All fingers. Yep. Stephanie Hughes. How do you like Orange acoustic amp over the acoustic Fishman Loud Artist amp? I don't know. I haven't tried a acoustic amp from Orange. I did try one for Udo. Liked it. I like the Udo amps, the UDO. Yeah. Fact is, I don't actually use a lot of acoustic amps when I'm playing live. Everything is just directly to the house. Yeah, I have no need for the acoustic amp. And if I were to play in a small club, yeah, basically probably I will. But we don't have clubs like this anymore because everyone is going in ears and trying to keep the stage volume as minimal as possible. So amps are dying out in a big way. Yeah. No twin neck guitar, sorry. Sounds like a good video. What video? Hi Chris, how are you? Also play a Sir HSS, a style guitar a few months back. These guitars are top notch. Yes, they are. Didn't buy one. Okay. Jelani, what are your thoughts, experiences regarding upgrading pickups versus changing parts? I would rather upgrade my pickups. Yeah. The parts, they do make a difference, but not a whole lot of difference. I think the way you find way more differences when you change pickups. Yeah. John Oakley, say hi to my daughter Sophie, please. She's hi Sophie. How old are you, Sophie? You can call me Uncle John if you want to. Yeah. Don't call me Auntie John. I get that a lot. So call me Uncle John. Yeah. Kelly Ba, what details on the PRS SE series gives away there is a cheaper guitar to the more expensive USA made ones? Well, I think the fact is the SE guitars from PRS are really good. Great value for the money that you're paying because they are all done really fine. They're done by fine workmen in the cord factory, so everything is really nicely done. The finishes, you got really nice finishes. The only difference is the choice of woods and the pickups, because if you're talking about the core models, you're gonna have like those low turn pickups, or those 5815 or the 8515 states made without the S. So they will tell you a lot of stuff about the S signifies that these pickups are being sourced out overseas, and they are the same. No, they're not the same. Yeah, trust me, they're not the same. I don't know about the later batch, but the batches that I played, the S, the 5518, 8515S are very different from the 8515 from the States. Even the low turn. So the low turn from the PRS SE, they are very different from the low turn that are made in the States. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome, Stephanie. Mark, the Udo M is what I have, you see? Yeah. The Udo M is really good and well designed, has a strong output base, clean. Yeah. Have you ever reviewed any chord guitars? Yes, I have. Yeah, I have. Yeah, they're good. They're good guitars. Yeah. Okay, so we got that all the way out of the way. Let me keep my zoom. So for you guys who just joined in, I just did a shout out for this. So this is a very interesting unit. You have another one that is a G2X with a special pedal. Yeah, I'm not able to show you because one of my students grabbed it. So he's probably toying with it now. I'm going to do a review of this soon enough, maybe in the later part of the week. All right. What else do I have? Okay, I got a couple of pedals from Davis, which I find to be really interesting. Let's see, I have 3 pedals here. Ooh. I love pedals. Yeah, especially the overdrives and the compressors. I really love them. I don't know why. I have a fetish about them, I think. This is from Rocket Pedals. J Rocket. They make really great pedals. Wow, this is nice. Oh my good lordy. Ooh, it's still in this plastic wrapping. Wait, did I do this before? Did I review this before? What is this? What is this? What is this? Someone tell me, what is this? This GTO? What? Anyway, it's got. So, what is it? Level, gain, accent, warm. I think this is the overdrive pedal. Can you see this? Yeah. So it's called a GTO. I do not know whether I reviewed this. Probably not. Also, one request from Miss Janet. Yeah. So interesting. They these guys in J Rocket, they make the best pedals, and it's also well designed. Really cute. Next one would be this from Electro Harmonics. Interesting. This is called the Glove. And I think this is a overdrive pedal. Ooh. Nobody touched this before. It's like, ooh, relatively unopened. Or is open before. I saw this scotch tape in the wrong end. Alright, so what is this? Yeah, it's an overdrive. This is the overdrive distortion unit. Oh, so it's a modern overdrive and distortion unit. You can change your tone with a switch. Interesting. So it looks like this. Oh, okay. What you mean is you can change the tone with the dip switches here, right? Where does it go? On and off. Yeah. So there's a tone switch here where you can kind of change the tone. And what you have can't see, you have a tone, you have volume, you have gain. So I guess this will dictate how sharp or whatever, right? How much gain, overall volume of the pedal, and then you can kind of like adjust your frequency of your tone over here, where you can shift. Interesting pedal. Oh, nice. Like I said, I love pedals. Just love the way they are. Okay, last but not least, I have this pedal from Mojo Hand Effects, handmade in the United States. Ooh, nice. I like pedals that comes in with, with cloth backs. Feels very bespoke to me. You know that they actually are really proud of what they do, what they make. Oh, lovely. What is this? This is a overdrive unit again. Yeah. So again, you have very different takes. You have the gain, accent, volume, and what's this? Tone. And then you have a switch between jazz and rock, so you can cater to different genres if you want to. Interesting. Huh. Nice. True bypass switch. Oh, they even give you a badge. Haha. That's a nice looking badge. Can you see a badge? Cool, huh? I just show it to you guys. I could have kept that badge for myself. Nah, I'm not that sort. Nice. Interesting. I'm gonna have a good time with all these pedals. I believe. I have a good feeling about these pedals. Right. So that's all I have for show and tell tonight. Dennis, my favorite M is a Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit. Does some incredibles. I believe that. Yeah, it's terribly expensive though. Cowbell, thank you for your answers, John. Gotta go work now. Yeah, you take care, Kali. Stephanie Hughes, love your YouTube videos and live stream, John. Always a pleasure. Thank you, Stephanie. Don't be a stranger, right? Drop by more often. Ooh, the extra special looks interesting. Extra special. Which one is the extra special? Yep. Do you guys watch the last video I did on the what you call that? The what guitar was that? Oh my god. Short-term memory loss. What was the last guitar that I reviewed? Let me see. What was the last one that I did? Hey, can't remember. And oh, it's a pre-loved. Oh, it's a PRS Modern Eagle. What do you guys think of that? Of that guitar? Nice, huh? Yeah, even though it's pre-loved, it's still a looker. Yeah, still a stunner. Mark, thanks for the boost pedal advice. Sorry for the delay. I was cooking breakfast and listening on my phone. Don't burn your breakfast. How could you? Why is everything out of tune? Oh, what happened? Oh, my pick was there. So loud. Why so loud? William de Sylvia. Yeah. I don't know why you guys don't like the hit stock. For me, I love the hit stock. I just love the uniqueness of it, you know. Some guys text me and says, why would he has his name like 8 times on the hit stock? Because he can, because he designed the friggin' guitar, you know, so he has the right to do it. I don't know. I think the hit stock, okay, this could be just be me uttering a lot of BS, but I do seriously think the mass of the hit stock, the mass of it, does affect the tone. It does. I saw a couple of different versions of the James Tyler guitar. Some has a little more traditional looking hit stock, still with the James Tyler name and logo, but a bit more slimmed down. But I just find it, yeah, just not the same. I've been playing the whole day since 3. My fingers are tired. I've been teaching since 3 p.m. And this is, still sort of a, what's that word? Diffusing period. Yeah, just to have a live stream and hang out with you guys. You know, William, I should have listened to what my godson Wayne told me like many years ago, almost 10 years ago. He told me, Uncle John, he used to call me Uncle John. He says, you should just get a James Tyler and be done with it and sell your guitars. And I go like, what? He said, yeah, you should listen to me. He said, you should get one. I said, no, it's so expensive. And back then it was way cheaper than what it is right now. I should have just listened to Wayne, you know, and discovered the beauty of the James Tyler guitar, you know. So decompression. Right. Enough guitar playing. Learn any TV? Yeah, sure. Um, Mostly on singing. No, no, I'm playing. I love the theme from Magnum. That was Larry Carlton. I love Greatest American Hero. Believe it or not, that guitar solo, that crazy guitar solo is from Larry Carlton. Love it. Yeah, Joey Scarberry. That's the singer's name. Love his voice. He sounds a little bit like England Dan from England Dan and John Ford Coley. Yeah, he sounds a bit like Dan Seals. Shaft, you know, I love Shaft. Right, the wah wah part. Yeah. So these are some of the nice. Yeah, the other one would be the what's that? What's that? A-Team. Yeah, you guys remember the A-Team? Yeah, nice. Dennis, I did a review of myself. I failed my frets kept failing. My tremolo wind trim, my humbucker wind hum. MacGyver, yeah, MacGyver is nice too. Magnum PI, yeah, that's a guitar. You know. Who's the songwriter? I forgot his name. You know, he composes all these really nice theme songs. Curtis Mayfield, yeah, Great Licks. Duo has it. Yeah, I mean, the semi-solid, the hollow body, they have a very unique tone of by itself. Even the PRS, we have this. I reviewed a couple of these PRS's hollow body. They sounded great. Really nice sustain. Somehow they're very different. Like I have a half. I actually have a half a mind to sell away my Tokai, but I decided against it because no matter what, it still sounds very, very different from a Les Paul. I have two Les Pauls, by the way. And they're all authentic Les Pauls, but this just blows them away in many sense because of the warmness of the sound. Wow, nice. Good lord, you guys are old. Airwolf. My god, you guys are just as old, almost as old as me. I'm even older because I can remember. I think Dennis can be with me on this one. I still remember Get Smart. Company K, not mistaken. What's that? Startup 13. I remember Combat. Remember Combat? B-17. 12 o'clock high. Those are really old. Bonanza. Right. High Chaparral. The Big Valley. All these are the old TV series. That me and my dad used to watch. Yeah. What? I have not tried any of the I have tried a positive grid. Maybe I did. I don't know. You gotta check out my amp preview or my amp playlist to see whether I have reviewed any one of those. I don't think I did. Michael MC saw the good deal on the Schecter Sun Valley Exotic HT. Are you a fan of the guitar? Yes, I am. Love it. I think I have two. Yes, I have two Schecter guitars. The Dennis, I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. All right, so what? Yeah, I had two. One is the Jack Fowler, one is the Nick Johnston, and they're all Indonesian made, heavily modified, except for maybe the Jack Fowler, which I only had a Vega trem on it. I remember this one series, which I really like. What is that? Kung Fu. Remember Kung Fu? David Carradine. No way. Well, you're born in 1976 or you're 76 years old right now? Dennis, you're really 76 years old? Well, the Jack Fowler has the same neck as the Nick Johnston, basically. Yeah. Hi, Ellie Pack. How are you? First time, huh? Okay. Well, like I said, don't be a stranger. Drop by, whenever you can. Sai, choosing between the Schecter SVSS Exotic and AM. What's the SVSS? No way, Dennis. Okay, you can't call me son. You can call me maybe, I don't know, our brother, younger brother, because I'm pretty old too. Yeah. 60. I'm just 13 years older than you. I was born 1960. You can call me young brother. You can call me Tonu. I call you Kimasabi. No. Yeah, I call you Kimasabi. You call me Tonu. No, I don't want that. That's like, so inappropriate. Sorry. Anyway, you cannot call me Grasshopper. But Dennis, you look good for a 76-year-old kid. Right. I'm gonna go soon. You guys got any more questions you want to ask me? Sai, I answered that question before. Yes, I do not have a teacher. Basically, I'm self-taught. Yeah, I think my best teachers are the ones that I work with in the studio. The producers that I work with. Some of them are really accomplished and learned musicians themselves. You know, I could shout out a couple of them. The late Iskandar Ismail. If you're in Singapore, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. There's Ricky Ho. You know, there's Belinda. Yeah, a couple of these guys. You know, they're instrumental in like telling me like what works theoretically and what might work untheoretically and still achieve the same result that they were looking for. So they taught me more than music theory. They actually taught me how to interpret a piece of music for what it is, a piece of music, and not overthink too much. And I think a lot of musicians tend to overthink and try to reinvent themselves too much. I think just do what Steve Vai said, just shut up and play a guitar. And that's what I've been trying to do all these years, and just sometimes I admit I tend to overthink myself. I tend to play too much, play too little. So I have to come to a point where I'm going like, okay, so I have this piece of music before me. I'm supposed to do a session on it. I'm supposed to put in my 2 cents worth. So I have to think like a producer at the same time as a player. So as a player, sometimes I would play a little bit more so they can kind of edit out the stuff that they don't need. But as a producer, I will going like, I'll be playing things that make sense. And that's where it probably worked most of the time. Yeah, I have to think like a producer in many ways. The old and cracked look. Well, you did it. You look old and cracked to me. But in a nice way. Kevin, you inspired me to. Oh, you got a H7. Cool. That's a great guitar. Yeah. If I didn't have the Tokai, I think I spoke about this in the video where I reviewed the H7. If I didn't have my Tokai, I would have bought that H7 right off the back, and I wouldn't have got sent back. It would just stay here. Yeah. Michael MC, one more for you. Have you had a chance to try the Yamaha Revstar? No, Davis do not sell Yamaha stuff. Yamaha has their own retail outlet in Singapore. I was asked. Well, I was offered. Well, not a way, and I actually requested for some Revstars to review, but there was so much red tape that there's so much forms to fill and all that. It wasn't like that, So I just kind of gave up, I don't need all these red tapes. Tier 5, my old partner used to call me Grasshopper, an old Vietnam vet. Used to have an old Yamaha SG, but sold it because it was too heavy. Yeah. Take a 12 string next week. Great day today. You too, Rick. Bye. Used to have an Yamaha. Okay. Are they? Yeah, they're heavy. No, SGs are not really that heavy. Wait. You're talking about a Yamaha SG. Those are that different. These are not the Gibson SG. Yeah, they're heavy. I actually reviewed one before. Great looking guitar, great sounding guitar. Equivalent to the 335. You're not better in many ways, but yeah, heavy. Yeah, again, what's a SVSS exotic? Let me. Sun Valley? What? Sunset Valley? Let me do a search. Yeah, so Sun Valley Super Shredder. You have to choose between both. And the AM, I would go for the SVSS. Yeah. Because of the wood, you know. Just love the way the wood looks. Yeah. Okay, gotta go. So, have a great week ahead. Um, Tomorrow is Monday for me in a couple hours' time. In fact, in 4 hours' time, it'll be Monday for me. So, you guys have a great week ahead. Um, I pray God's blessing to be upon all of you, that God will watch over you this coming week, that God will watch over your coming in and going out, that God will grant you journey mercy to wherever you're going, off to work, home from work, with your family, with your loved ones. I pray that God would give you peace and joy every time you pick up an instrument, every time you sing a melody, every time you play a melody. I pray that God's Spirit will be with you every time you are making music, every time that you're alone, every time that you're contemplating on something, that God's presence will be with you. And I pray that you'll find time to talk to Him, have a conversation with Him, ask Him about things pertaining to your life or to other people's life. I pray that you will have time to pray for other people, that you will have compassion and the love that Jesus has given to you to pray for someone, to intercede for someone. I also pray that you will spend time and tell God that you love Him, for He loves you so. This I pray for you, my dear brothers and sisters. And may God's presence be with you for always. I pray all this in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. No worries. I'm glad. I like to hang out, so it's good to see you guys. I thought, I just make an unannounced live stream, thinking that I'll probably get 7 souls. Yeah, it's great to see you guys, some of the new guys, yeah. Like I said, don't be a stranger, drop by often if you can. Sometimes I have unannounced live streams, so if you have the time, just drop by and say hi. And good to see you, Oren. And thank you, Logify, for co-hosting this, for being a moderator for this chat stream. Yeah. You take care, Dennis. You old timer. I wish I could meet up with you and have a beer or meal with you, but who knows? Maybe in time. You're welcome, Jelani. Bye, Kevin. Bye, Orin. You take care. All right. Bye.